The scale of decision making from one person to another person is like usually so wildly different. So vastly different. And other people will, like, a lot of times criticize other people's decision making, go, I would never spend money on that. Oh, this person's a big spender. Why did they do that? And they usually just make these decisions with like zero context. These conclusions, we'll say, with zero context. And usually the framework that the person making the decision is using is just wildly different than your own. Because, like, you and I would both know, right? There are people, let's say, who would pick up their family, move them across the country for a $50,000 raise. They get a base increase of 50 grand, they're gone. You and I know those people. They would do that. Like, that's a real person. It's actually probably, I would say most people are probably in that camp. Now, there's a big difference between going from 100 to 150 compared to 950 to a million, right? But on the surface, a lot of people will take a $50,000 raise and move. That's the only thing they need. There's also other people who won't, like, get out of bed for a $100,000 contract, $100,000 of recurring revenue, add it to the books. They would say, no, I don't want to do that. Sounds like work. And I promise you that these two people, they don't talk. They don't understand the other's decision making. I think the person with the $100,000 who says no to that probably at one point in time would have been the other person. I think that's probably true. But I think a lot of times, maybe we're getting back to the Barian rule. Like, people from one class of decision making, we'll say, it just doesn't even compute. It's over their head. How could you pass up $100,000? You know, I was talking to my friend who runs a very nice business, we'll say. And, he ran a very nice business, and he left that very nice business with a very nice lump sum of money, at least what I perceive to be a nice lump sum of money. And then he went into hibernation, and he came back, started another business. He's been doing this other business for a few years, and it's okay. It has a lot of potential, actually, like a lot of potential, like through the roof potential. But he's been doing it for 3 years, and he's been putting money into it. He's been spending money on the business because it hasn't made any profit. And he was like, there's a lot of potential here, and other people see it. I see it. I agree with him. And people have offered me a couple $1,000,000 just to sell it and let them run it. And he was like, there's just no amount of money that anybody could pay for this thing that would change my life, that I'd be willing to part with this. Maybe $50 million or whatever, but a couple $1,000,000, even if I made a couple $1,000,000 a year on this deal, it's not going to change my life. It's just kind of an interesting mindset that I think a lot of average people might not be able to appreciate.